Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruha, Kadash, and double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, and to the bishops and elders in Connecticut, and also to the high priests that taught our apostles, right, back in the day, and to the brothers that's out there putting their lives online, teaching this truth, the 100% truth, and this Yard from the Great Millstone Houston camp. And I'm gonna go into a video today and try to keep it kind of, simple and short and simple. And this pastor, right? It's this happened last week, if I'm not mistaken. And pastors were told to prepare for an alien invasion, right? So we believe, they're gonna probably do some type of blue beam, some type of what I want to say, something fake. They're gonna try to put some fake out there, a fake invasion or something, you know. But the men of the Lord, we know what that's really all about. And I'm gonna go ahead and play the video.
Meeting
Check it out.
a weekend. I had a friend that sent me a text message. I was in a meeting, a weekend meeting, preaching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. And he said, Perry, can you give me a call? I have some information that has come to my attention. Of course, when a friend of yours does that you know quite well, you have no idea what information they're talking about. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. And this particular man, and I'll not name him, and then we may end up doing some teachings with him or having an event at his church. He has a great church. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors. You need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures, and other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or an Orson Welles book. I had a friend.
And that's it. And man, listen. Those are not no reptilian aliens, man. Those are the angels of Yahweh Shai, okay? That's our brothers, you know? And this is the picture from the brother William Bradley that I always do. He does these IG AI pictures, right? And they be, I ain't gonna lie, I admit they be dope. And let me go ahead and get a scripture. Let's go to Ezekiel right quick. I got this one pulled up. Let's go to Ezekiel, the first chapter. You know, but these people, man, they coming with their deception and all that, and most of them know what it is, but they put that crap out there to try to deceive people, especially our people, right? And I'm just trying to see where to start at. I started at 4, right? This is Ezekiel 1 and 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, right? That great cloud is a so-called UFO, a chariot. And a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire, right? Showing you the color of these, these chariots can change different colors. The amber is one of the colors being, right, like a goldish, orange, or brownish, gold, like, just trying to describe the color, right? And also, verse 5, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of four living creatures, and it was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and everyone had four faces, and everyone had four wings, describing the angels, right? Because when you go into it goes into it, it had like different strengths in those ships, the angels have. Verse 7, but this is the point I want to make. And their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like sole of a cow's foot, probably describing like a boot they had on, right? Certain boots they have. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. See that? They sparkle like the color of brass, right? Brass is like a brownish color. See that? And burn, right? Burnished brass would be something like these, like the brother did on these brothers right here on the AI. See that? Just making that point, because they talking about aliens, man. It's not no aliens, bro. It's no aliens. And you read the Ezekiel, the first chapter, man. It describes, the chariots and the angels, right? Just wanted to just bring that out. And I go to 16, Ezekiel 1 to 16. I mean, like I said, you can read the whole chapter. I'm just, skipping. The appearance of the wheels and they work was like unto the color of beryl. Beryl, when you go in the beryl, it's like a greenish color. And the four and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as if a wheel in the middle of a wheel, describing the chariot. Because when you see some of these chariots up, you see a wheel inside of a wheel, right? Okay. It just, just going into, I'm just picking up some of the stuff. But when you read Ezekiel, the first chapter, man, it goes into the chariots and the angels. Okay. And let's go ahead and get Ezekiel 14 and 9, right? Because, man, if you don't get taught right, first and foremost through our apostles at Great Millstone and the brothers on down, you're not gonna know. You can have guys like this here and the pastors that called them to have you all confused, have you all over the place, have you deceived. Okay? Ezekiel 14 and 9, and if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people, Israel, right? And this could be used for all these so-called pastors out here, or these prophets as they want to be. They deceiving the people, okay? And we know the prophets, you got to be an Israelite to be a prophet, But, just bringing this out, man, you're going to have people, hey, Yahweh Bashim Shai, he put these prophets to deceive certain people, so they won't get it, so it can be a stumbling block. Yeah, this alien stuff, reptilian stuff, talking about the aliens and these so-called UFOs. No, those are angels of Yahweh Bashim Shah, man. Our brothers. Okay. Let me get, what's that, Job 12 and 16. Just simply says, Job 12 and 16, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his, right? Right? So the ones that's getting deceived and the ones that's being the deceiver, Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, I just read it to you. He's making that happen, right? But hey, the ones that putting out these lies, they're gonna be destroyed. Gonna be destroyed, and that's even just going into the house. In Israel right now, you got these false leaders, right? You know, they teaching lies, not really teaching our people the truth. And hey, how about Shema Shah gonna deal with them, you know? So, yeah, man. Let me see. I'm thinking of one. Let me just type it. Let's see. Thinking of one in is it in Thessalonians? I think First or Second Thessalonians, maybe. Could be wrong. Shoot. Man, how it go? Let me see. Maybe if I put deceiver. See how that's gonna go. Man, you know what? I'm gonna think about it when I finish doing this video. I'm gonna be mad. Man, I can't even think of it. But you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and go to Matthew. In the blue letter. Right. This is Matthew 24 and 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here. So like, let me read it again. Matthew 24 and 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Mashiach, or there, believe it not, right? For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. See that? So, yeah, this, the elect not gonna fall for that aliens and reptilians in the so-called UFO. Okay, they ain't falling for that. So, this is gonna be the most likely. This is what it is that's gonna be in those so-called ships. These so-called UFOs, which is the chariots of Israel. Okay. So, let me see. Let me type up the one. See, so don't buy these nonsense what these people talking about, man. Let me see which one. Is it? Slocky. Trying to think of that one. You know what? Let me see if I can. Thought it was in Kings. Let me see. First King, bear with me. Kings. 6. Let's see. Might be Second Kings then. Let me see. Second Kings. Yeah, I'm gonna read it, but I was looking for let me see, Slacky, beloved. Let me see. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and read it, right? Second Kings 6:15. And when the servants of the man of Yahweh power was risen early and going forth, behold, and host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for Slacky. And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. See that? It's talking about the chariots, right? Chariots of Israel, right? So-called UFOs with dark complexion, different types of shades of brown, right? In those chariots. That's what he's talking about. It's not no reptilians, right? Aliens, okay? Verse 17, 2 Kings 6:17, and Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and both, and Slacky, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha, right? The horses going into the strength, you know, was full of horses, right? Power, chariots. That's the chariots, that's going into the, like I say, the power of those chariots, okay? And he saw, I'm read again, I'm going to go to the middle part. And he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about. And when they came down to see Elisha pray unto Yahweh Bashem Shai and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, and with blindness, and he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. Okay? So yeah. And the chariots, man, they with us in a way. They with the men. That's our force. That's our army, right? Through Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay? But that was it. Um, I was looking for one scripture, but you get the point. So, the men of the Lord, man, the ones in the know, right? The hopeful elect, man, we in the know, just not know, these chariots, the men that are in those chariots are not aliens or reptilians, man. That's our brothers, angels, different color of Like I said, different shades of brown. Your light brown, regular brown to your dark brown. Okay, burnished brass. So, hey, that's all. I hope this been edifying, and to the point. Until next time, I'm gonna give all praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahawah Kakadash. Until next time, Shalom.